I'm going to be ranking streamers based on how likely they are to win the 2028 presidential election. Now, before we get into this video, please remember this is a joke. Obviously, I don't think any of these people can run for president. Not enough commenters realize that. Anyway, yeah. So first we have Atrioc, which has proven that he has a very well basic economic understanding of the world, and he's also has some connections with politicians as he was able to interview Gavin Newsom. He also has a very successful podcast going on right now, the Lemonade Stand. And also, Atrioc is charismatic, I would say. I do think he gets himself at A tier. I could see him winning the Democratic primaries. He has about the same policies as like Biden does, but he's not as old as Biden, not far off, but still just slightly younger than Joe Biden. Um, Maybe I think he's like 76, somewhere around there. Adriac, though, I could see him win the Democratic primaries. I do see him doing well in a general against someone like J.D. Vance or maybe Ludwig in a general election. Uh, Adriac also has some very basic, I guess, debating, uh, debate practice, I would say, against his own chatters. But we also see Atrioc is also very used to, I guess, explaining to people why he believes what he believes. So that could help him in debates. I do think he's a very calm person and wouldn't lose his cool in debates either, and wouldn't just start talking over people. I think people would really like that about Atrioc. We then move on to Ludwig, which Ludwig charismatic, but I think he would get destroyed in debates. So I think if Ludwig really wanted to try win the Republican or Democrat primary, what he would have to do is I guess he just wouldn't agree to go to any debates. Maybe one debate at most, just so he can say he did a debate. But yes, but mostly he would have to be carried by going around the country and doing rallies and just being as charismatic as possible. Try to have almost like that Trump energy at the rallies and just mass post on his YouTube channel. I do believe Ludwig is the biggest YouTuber over here, so that would help him a lot. Um, but overall, I think Ludwig could do it. Yes, depends on how well the debates go. Now, Hazan Piker, he is a little bit farther left, which could hurt or help him. Um, I do think in a year where I do think the Democrats will shift a little bit farther left, I do think is in these next 4 years with Donald Trump in office. But just because we have a slightly farther right president than usual, that does not always correlate to a slightly farther left Democratic nominee. As we saw in 2020 when Trump was in office and was the incumbent president, Biden still won the Democratic primaries. So that's actually why I have Atrek at A tier. I do think his sort of Democratic centralism could help him. I do think Hazan's policies could get in the way. I do see Hazan more as a third party candidate, so I'm gonna move him down to C tier because I do think he could run a successful third party, maybe win a few New England states like Vermont and Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, Delaware, Maryland, some of those more Democratic stronghold states. I could see him winning those and maybe run the third party that Bernie Sanders never did. Now, Asmongold, I don't know if he could really win a Republican primary. Uh, well, he could probably win a Republican primary, but I don't think he could win a general, just because of most politics I see him talk about. It's social policies, and yes, people care about social policy, but I would say the majority of people care about economics, and I don't think I don't think he would do well in a debate talking about how he would fix inflation. I do think Hazan and Asmongold could almost seem out of touch in some debates, but most presidential candidates are seem pretty out of touch. Now we move on to Doug Doug, which is who is a tech bro. Um, he could do very well talking about the tariffs, and if it was him versus Trump in a debate, I could see Doug doing well. But of course, in 2028, Trump can't run again. But I could see Doug doing very well against JD Vance in a general election, just because Doug is very critical of the tariff policy and very pro, I guess, technology advancement, which I think he could criticize JD Vance a lot for. We then move on to Tyler One. Now, I don't think Tyler One would do good on the debate stage at all. He loses his cool a ton, and I don't think, and he would probably just interrupt people nonstop on the debate stage, lose his cool, get mad. So I don't think people would really like him. I don't think Tyler One's that charismatic, so I'm gonna have him in D tier. I have Dr. Battle Report, who is basically a centrist, but he has the smallest following here, and because of that, I'm gonna move him to D tier. He's probably gonna do better than Tyler One on the debate stage, and I'll have Destiny in F tier. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and peace out.